And we are back with another exciting episode of Rick's Horror Review Show, Rick's Rated R Horror Movie Review Show, where we review all things related to horror. Horror movies, horror TV shows, horror comic books, regular old books like Frankenstein or the modern Prometheus, horror documentaries, even horror primetime specials from the 1990s about the Catholic Church and demonic possession with Barbara Walters and Hugh Dowd, because we absolutely love that shit. But around here, there's a very special type of horror that we truly enjoy. And that's horror movies or horror TV shows or horror anything that has to deal with the Catholic Church. And of course, you can't have the Catholic Church without demonic possession. Demon. Maybe it's a show about a zombie that wants to eat your brains. Or maybe a documentary about the witches of New England. Maybe it's just a regular old ghost who haunts your house because, fuck it, it just wants to be there. It has no purpose other than to haunt. And hunt. Welcome to our show. If this is your first time, thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate you being here. If this is not your first time and you're a returning listener, welcome back. We appreciate you being here too. Billy, welcome. Well, thank you. That's very nice to be here. And, I'm really excited about this episode, and I look forward to our conversation. Same here, Billy, same here. But tonight, I have to say something. Okay. I wouldn't have to do with this episode being... Well, I'll just go ahead and let you. Well, Billy, thank you very much. But tonight, I have to say something about this particular episode. Because tonight's episode is a special one. Tonight we're talking about a movie called The Dark and the Wicked. And boy, oh boy, was this film dark and was it wicked. If you're new around here, well, I already welcomed you. But if you're new around here, we have a show format that we like to stick to. And without further ado, why don't we just get started, Billy? What do you say? Well, let's just jump right into this one, like you like to say. And if you wanna just go ahead and start the show format. Yes, the show format is as follows. First and foremost, I am going to talk about what kind of film this is. Actually, let me try something new. Oh, what do you want to do? Here, hold on. Lord. Here's the show format. First and foremost, we're going to talk about what kind of horror film The Dark and the Wicked is. Then I'll tell you if it's scary or not. And I'm adding a new segment. New segment, everybody. Welcome aboard to Rick's Rated R Horror Movie Review Show new segment. And segment's called, Does This Movie Contain Jump Scares? Okay. I like that. Yeah, not everybody likes the old jump scare. It's nice to let people know. Yeah, I thought that, but we'll see how it goes. Then we'll move on to the things I liked. And no, not things I like in general. I like many things. I'm talking about specifically the things I liked about this film. Immediately after the things I like, well, doesn't it just make sense to talk about the things I didn't like? Not things in general that I don't like, but things about the film that I didn't like. Then I'll tell you whether or not I found this film to be entertaining. We'll move on to whether or not I recommend this film. I'll give you a little bit of context. And then I'll give you a rating. After the rating, everything will be spoiler full. Up until this point, I will spoil nothing. After this point, I'll spoil everything. Before this, nothing. But after that first rating, we'll do a plot review, commentary, and script-accurate dramatization of scenes. A lot, but we never do the script-accurate dramatization. They are script-accurate improvisation of scenes. Oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Wait, now hold on a second. not script accurate, more like dramatization of scenes or improvisation of scenes, but none of them are script accurate. Agree to disagree, Billy. For this movie, we're gonna do an interpretation of the ending because it begs for one, in my opinion. And then we'll give another rating. How does that sound? Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, well, without further ado, let's jump right into this one, huh? What do you say? Okay. So what kind of horror film is this? Billy, what do you think about this? Well, it's my honest opinion. Out of the multitude of films I have already observed throughout my lifetime and the amount of time I have been self-aware, I believe this film to be an atmospheric and supernatural type of horror. Now, I'd like to say that there are Catholic Church elements in this film, but the reality is that I cannot say that this is actually a Catholic Church horror film because it's sort of merely like a reference, really. Yeah, I agree. I would not call this a Catholic Church horror film because, I mean, yes, there are characters who belong to the old Catholic Church. But, what else is there to say about them? Okay, moving on. Is this film scary?
Hey, mister.
Yeah, what do you want?
I just wanted to know, is this film scary?
Get out of here, child. Yeah, shoo. Oh, Lord. Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, I thought this film was a 5 out of 10 scaries. Oh, you got on the scale now. Yeah, the scaries. It's a scale from 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. And us as horror aficionados, I am going to give this one a 5 out of 10 scaries. And 5 out of 10 scaries to me is a decently scary film. It's not going to scare the pants off. It's not going to scare the pants off of you. But, it's going to give you some scaries. What do you think, Billy? I think a 5 out of 10, in my opinion, might be a little low in terms of scaries. I would more, I'd be more along the lines of maybe like a 7 out of 10 scary. Wow, 7 out of 10 scaries for you, huh? Yeah, I thought it was, I thought it was scarier than you. Billy. Been doing a lot of humor lately. I wasn't aware that you were capable of so much humor. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm capable of so much, especially so much more than you. Oh, look at you. Well, you set yourself up there a little bit. I kind of did. Okay, thus the jar, and this is the new segment. Welcome to our new segment. Does this film contain jump scares? It does. I won't say how many. Not here, anyway. I won't say how many jump scares. The short answer is yes, it does contain jump scares. So if you're not a fan of the jump scares, and it's an obligatory thing for me to say I am not susceptible to the jump scare. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. I'm not saying I don't get the jump scares. I do, but it just doesn't happen often. Like I see them coming from a mile away. Okay? I heard things about the jump scares. I heard there's a jump scare coming up. Anyway, the things I liked about The Dark and the Wicked, as usual, sponsored by no one. Okay, so the things I liked, the story. My goodness, the story, so simple. It's not like this, crazy, complex story of interweaving smaller stories, then meeting at the end. This is one story. Takes place in one location in Texas. It's simple. It's based on real life. And it's just effective. Billy? Yeah, I must agree with you. The story is in fact simple, but that doesn't take away anything from how good it really is. It's a simple but extremely, extremely entertaining and effective story like you just described. Yeah, I agree. Another thing I really like was the title. The Dark This Summer. This summer, only in theaters. shit happens that you're gonna want to see in The Dark and the Wicked. In theaters only. This film is rated R. Not suitable for young children or people who are offended easily. Amazing title. I mean, look at this. The Dark and the Wicked. Does it get better than that? Well, I mean, I think, the title is more complex than the plot, honestly. Billy, come on. I'm not taking away anything from the plot. I just like the title. It sounds, intriguing and interesting. It does. And along with the title, the promotional artwork. And I mean, when you have a title like The Dark and the Wicked, the promotional artwork is obviously going to look amazing as well. So all of this stuff, really well done. Great acting. I like to commend the acting in films when I see great acting by everybody that's involved. Nobody stood out in terms of like, like I always like to say, like, oh, it feels like somebody's mailing it in. Nobody mailed it in. Nobody emailed it in? I mean, that would be a modern reference. Nobody tic-tacked it in. And by the way, all right, my producers are telling me to mention the old shows, be our friend. On the old Instagrams, tic-tacs like the kids like to call it, the YouTubes and the Facebooks, like the old people say, at Rick's Horror. Send us a message. Tell us how we're doing. Do you like our stuff? I want to hear from you. Recommend us something. You know what I would love to do, Billy? What's that? I would love to review an audience recommended film. If you liked one of our reviews, recommend me one. I am more than willing to do it. But please don't recommend these slashers. Oh, Lord, no, you had to shit on the slashers. I have to. New listeners, if you don't know, I am not a fan of the slashers. They just don't do it for me. They're just not, they're not scary. They're not scary enough. If you like them, great. Congratulations. This one's for you. That doesn't mean I won't review them. We reviewed plenty of slashers. And by the way, we found slashers I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Some of our highest rate. As a matter of fact, a slasher in this show has a 10. I'm not biased against them. I'll definitely review it, and if I find it interesting, then I will give it a rating that it deserves. I'm not just shitting on them. I'll definitely give them their due diligence and their credit. Get credit where credit is due. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's not good, right, Bill? Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's the great thing about the horror genre. There is something for everybody. So if you got a recommendation out there that you think I'd love, or maybe you think I'd hate, throw it my way. I'd love to hear about it. At Rick's Horror everywhere. Anyway, that's it for the things I liked. Anything else to add, Billy? No, I think, for the most part, you captured everything. Okay. And now, as usual, the things I didn't like about this film is sponsored by no one. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I just felt like the film relied on jump scares a little too much for my personal taste. And it's more of a, what really grinds my gears? Overused jump scares. That's just me. You might like them. And if you do, there's some in this one. I already told you. And the only other thing I didn't like, it's more of like, not really didn't like, but it's more of a grinding. And what really grinds my gears? Hold on a second, I'm confused. This grinding your gears, does that mean it doesn't bother? I mean, it's like not as strong of an emotion as a thing that you didn't like? Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Because it really sounds maybe like it's actually a stronger emotion than the things that you didn't like. Now, it's definitely meant to be, not quite as strong as a dislike. It just grinds my gears a little bit. I should add that. It should be a segment. And welcome to our brand new impromptu segment. What really grinds my gears? Sponsored by Family Guy. Sundays at 7 p.m. on Fox LA. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I said the overused jump scares. It's just, not my taste. I don't like it. But hey, if you do, there's some in here. I also felt, and the only other thing is, I felt like I needed more from this film. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I felt like I was on the edge. I was on the edge, and and I needed that one extra thing, or that one extra scene, or hell, maybe even jump scare, to put me over the edge. So really, really, really loving this film. But you gave it an 8. I did, because it's a great film, but I just, I wanted it. I wanted a 10. Every movie I watch, I want it to be a 10. I don't want to watch a movie that isn't a 10. It's, by the way, it's a really interesting question. I don't think anybody asked the question. Okay. It just means, I guess what I'm saying is, every movie that I watch, I want it to be a 10. In fact, they all start at 10s. We take points away. We don't add them, right? Yeah, I mean, everybody has a different scale. But yeah, I agree with you. That's a good way of looking at it, Like you said, you don't like to read reviews. You don't like to read the plot before you watch a film. You just kind of, want to enjoy it and experience it without any spoilers. That's me. Okay, that's it for the things I didn't like. Not much, Again, it's a good film. Is this film entertaining? Yes, it was. No question about it. It's an entertaining film. No two ways about it. No question about it. Are you not entertained? Yes, I was super entertained. I didn't feel at any point during the film that I was bored or wishing it ended. I wanted more. The complete opposite. I felt like I needed something else, and I just didn't get it. And I don't know what that is, but yes. All right. And finally, do I recommend this film? I always recommend that you watch a film after listening to our review, or maybe you've already seen it. I don't know if what you like to do. I always recommend you do watch it and make up your own opinion about it. But in this instance, yes, please watch this. I am begging you. I'm begging you. Please watch this film. Oh my God. Go watch it. I think it's fun. I loved it. So yeah, go watch it. I recommend it. You can put this on the list of Rick's recommendations. Rick recommends. Oh my goodness, we could make an episode out of that. Welcome to the first ever episode of Rick Horror Review Show presents Rick Recommends. Our first guest is a movie by the name of The Dark and the Wicked. And here's our host, Rick. Thank you very much, disinvited voice. And yes, I recommend this film. Well, that's it for our first episode of Does Rick Recommend? We'll catch you again next time. Until then, have a great night. Oh my goodness, what the hell just happened? That was our first episode of, Rick's Horror Movie Review Show recommends. Does Rick recommend? Oh my goodness, you made a show within a show? Billy? It's our show, Billy. And we can do whatever the fuck we want with it. Alright, and without further ado... Or maybe actually I think I better spoil this already. Without wanting to. Maybe they didn't catch it. The audience didn't catch it. The rating! This film deserves an 8 out of 10. A great film worthy of every minute that you sit there and watch it, which I think is... considering time is money and time is of the essence, every film should be like this. This is an 8 out of 10. Great film. Go watch it. Okay, and that's sort of that's it. We can get into the spoiler-full territory, and usually we begin spoiler-full territory by giving you some context. But you know what? This film actually doesn't require context. I mentioned earlier, it's a simple story. Yeah, that's very interesting. This is one of the few episodes that we haven't really had much context. So, okay, look, I guess you said it was a simple story. I mean, don't you agree it's a simple story? I mean, I think the themes covered are not simple. I mean, we're literally talking about like demons and life and death and soul. Those topics are not simple. No, I'm not talking about the topics. I'm talking about the story. Yes, the themes may be complex, but the story is simple. Let's begin with said story. Okay, so the movie opens up with a night shot of, and by the way, again, remember, this is all spoiler-full territory. Jump off right here. you don't want to know what happens in this movie. I gave you a rating. That's good enough for you. That's good enough for me. And go watch it. If you're still here, the night shot of some white Phillips. And by the way, a very special guest this evening already, Mr. Black Phillip. Mr. Black Phillip, how are you this evening? Just living deliciously. What can I do for you? Well, I saw a bunch of white goats, and the first thing that came to mind is amongst these white goats, there will definitely be a Black Phillip. Perhaps you might be wrong. Perhaps the Black Phillip is having a taste of butter. Or maybe he's purchasing a pretty dress to help someone live deliciously. Okay, well, yeah, you're right. I actually didn't see any Black Phillips here. But anyway, I appreciate you stopping by, and maybe we'll catch you again a little later in the show. I will be here. Okay, thanks, Black Phillip. So then we see a night shot of a woman, and she's making dresses, and it turns out to be the mother of the main character, Louise. But suddenly, as she's making her dresses, there's a noise amongst her mannequins, and she turns the lights off and goes to check on the noise and goes outside. Nothing really happens, but it was a really tense moment. So she reaches the line of goats, and they're all bleeding. She checks the little bottles that are there to prevent the goats from going anywhere, and everything seems to be in order. She gets up and walks away, and elsewhere there's a windmilling behind her, and she just kind of heads home. But it's a really tense, dark moment, and this dark, brooding music. She enters her home and sits next to her husband, who, as we can see from the shot, is, I would say not responsive yet, but he's on oxygen. And we see her writing something in some type of book or journal. And suddenly she hears wolves outside. Suddenly, she continues writing. And then there's something scaring the goats outside. And there's a shout of the goats outside, and they're goading. And it's a blink and miss moment, but at 4:51, we get just one of the only clear shots of the demon in this film. Billy, did you catch that at 4:51? Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you had caught it. I definitely did. It was one of those, like you said, blink and you miss moments. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and the goat. The creature was sitting amongst the goats, and it was there for a split second. And obviously, it's one of these. It's a form of storytelling, right? And I mentioned earlier, I felt like I was missing something from the film, and maybe what I felt I was missing was the presence of the evil entity. Or rather, not the presence. I felt like the presence is always looming in this film, but I guess the revelation. That's what I was. A revelation. You know who did a good revelation? Krampus. The movie sucked, in my opinion. But it was a great revelation. It was a great revelation of Krampus. This movie just didn't have a revelation like that where, everything is set up for the creature or the demon or whatever the case may be to present itself. It's just looming. But to the credit of this film, I think that's the story. It's just the imminent looming demise of someone or something by some demonic creature. Billy? Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there. Like you just said, it's the looming presence of an evil entity. Okay. Shall we continue? Yeah, let's continue. All right. Well. And my brain is trained back on the goods. And of course, again, I'm looking for a Black Phillip. And in fact, there's the Black Phillip in the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Phillip is back. That was not me. I was living deliciously during the filming of this film. That must be an imposter. Oh, so this isn't the Black Phillip? No. I was out seeing the world. Would you like to see the world? We already had this conversation, Billy. Nobody is, Black Phillip. Nobody is removing thy shift. So thank you so much for your appearance, Mr. Black Phillip. Please be on your way. I will live deliciously. Okay. So the woman continues with her housework. And after writing, in her journal, she starts chopping onions. And she's just chopping away. And then suddenly a chair slides and creaks behind her mysteriously. And then there's the title card with the word Monday written on it. So this is all happening, I guess, on a Sunday. If my math is correct. So the next shot is a morning shot of the outside, and the goats are outside foraging again. And then we now meet a young woman, or a younger woman, who's driving into the farm. And her name turns out to be Louise, and she's the older woman's daughter. And Louise walks into the house, and, the mother says, "Now, down there, Louise, what y'all doing here? Y'all didn't need to be here. Y'all didn't need to be here, Louise." "Well, Mom, we just, we haven't seen you in such a long time. We just wanted to say hello and see how you were doing, Mom." "Yeah, well, yeah, y'all didn't need to come. I gotta have a smoke." "Oh, yeah. Well, y'all need to come." The mom actually doesn't smoke, actually. Louise is the one that smokes a lot. Fine, Billy, fine. Then we continue with another shot. And in the next scene, someone is changing a flat tire outside, and Louise arrives to offer a hand. "Hey there, cowboy. What you want, a hand? How about a cig? How about a hand and a cig? How about a dance, cowboy?" It doesn't ask anybody anything of those questions, actually. Oh, Billy, watching the wrong version of the movie again. So one of the men fixing the tire is actually her brother, Michael, and the other man, Charlie, is the farmhand that helps out her mother and her father. I'm sorry, yes. So we move on to the next scene, and now Michael and Louise and the mother are having dinner, and, typical Monday evening dinner. It goes, "Mama, this done here supper's delicious. What did y'all put in this thing today?" "Oh, Mikey, well, that done there's called sopa de caracol. It's a Mexican delicacy, and it's quite delicious." "Well, I'll tell you what, Mama, them Mexicans, they really know how to cook that food, don't they?" "Well, as you might know, Mexican food is, the best cuisine in the whole wide world, little Mikey." "Well, Mama, I done there agree with you." I done there agree with you there. Yeah. Louise chimes in. Yeah, Mexican's really good. I love it. I love everything. I love the tacos. I also love booze. Mike, you want to go outside? Let's have some booze. And Michael and Louise step outside for a little while, and they sit outside in the porch, and they talk about the last time they spoke to the father, which was in May, and they converse. "Michael, we can't leave Mama alone here anymore." "Well, I don't reckon I should have hugged her when I got here, but you know what? I just done reckon smell that soap of the caracol and my brain don't stop working no more, you know what I mean? But that soap of the caracol is just too damn good. Well, it's a pita like that. It's a pita. You know, because they out there like to add to the ITA to all the things to make it sound cute. Like senorita. Like you, Luisa. Or maybe I can call you Luisita. That done there be a joke there, Luisita. Oh, Michael. I'm Cecilia here. We can't leave Mama here. We have to take her. Then they go back inside, and the brother goes to the shower, and the mom is watching Johnny Carson on the telly. Here's Johnny! Well, I got some wild stuff for you folks this evening. Thank you so much for joining us on the Tonight Show. I'm Johnny Carson. And Louise is washing her hands, and suddenly she hears the door creak open, and she simply closes it. No big deal. But the shot from the man amongst the goats from earlier, but now he's inside, and he's in the background. And there's a shot of her walking back from closing the door, but now the man is gone, and instead the mom's shadow is standing there. And jump scare a lot. But we continue. She saw nothing. That's all, you know, the viewer saw, but the characters didn't see, right, Billy? Yeah. That's exactly what happened. So she steps outside for a smoke. Yeah, that's a good thing. And the mother and the brother are in the kitchen. And the mother suddenly begins to sing. Running my friend with his finger, singing my life with his one, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, telling me softly with his song. Oh my goodness, she did not sing that song. Well, whatever, she sang some song. Why not this one? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the mother singing a little bit Roberta Flack. Oh my goodness, she did not sing Roberta Flack. Cut me some slack, Billy. And then she says to him, Marky, Lois, y'all should go. It's not what y'all think. Your dad is not dying. Your dad is not dying a regular old death. Something be wrong with your daddy. And then there's another shot of the dad on oxygen, and the mother continues chopping veggies, carrots, and of course, well, you know, anytime you need to chop something, well, why don't we just let Hildy from our episode on Brooklyn 45 tell us about the knife that she's using. Hildy, you there? Oh, yeah, danke. Good evening. Thank you for having me here on your show. And I believe the mother is using a Wurst knife. And why do you think she's using a Wurst knife? Quite efficiency in the chopping that I see. I see the Wurst knife, as you already know, is not good for killing. Not good for killing at all. But it is good for chopping, slicing, dicing, and julienning, all of which are being performed by the mother at this present time. I see. Okay, well, appreciate you joining us, and this is the first time on the show, and we'd love to have you back. Oh yes, yeah, danke. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you're on hands tonight. Yeah, tonight and every night, Bill. Anyway, we continue, and then suddenly a chair slides again, and she's chopping vigorously with that Wurst knife. And she chops her fingers off, 2 of them, but she continues chopping and slicing and dicing because clearly that Wurst stuff is really, really sharp. And now it's Tuesday morning and there's blood everywhere. And Michael, he wakes up and he's looking for his mom. Mama told me. Mama, you there? Remember what you told me when I was young? You done dare tell me, Mama told me when I was young. You'll find a woman, and you'll find love. Oh my goodness. But they can't find the mom. And now Louise is out there also looking for her. And then there's a white shot of the goats goading. And then suddenly we see the mother hanging from the barn or something. And Louise slides the tub over and cuts her mom down as Michael holds her. And they both cut her down. And there's another title card. And now it's Wednesday. And Louise is smoking outside. And Michael is drinking a coffee outside. And they're just sitting there quietly. And Charlie, the farmhand outside, feeds the goats. And Mike and Louise now in another scene, and the nurse are in the room with the father. The nurse said I made you guys a roast.
I want to say something to you. You know, your mom, she was saying things. Like I heard things. She was saying things like, you know, she thought I think that I wasn't listening, but she was saying things. She would sit there and whisper. Like,
well, we know what a whisper is. You don't have to, you don't have to direct and tell us, explain to us what a whisper is. We know what a whisper is.
Well, that's what she was doing. I just want to paint a picture for you, okay? You don't have to be rude about it. Anyway, she was sitting there. She was whispering like she was talking to him like she used to. But it wasn't him she was talking to anymore. It was someone else. And I know you guys don't believe in the Jesus and all of that stuff. But I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. I don't care. Okay? You don't go to church, that's okay. But I'm going to pray for you. Thoughts and prayers for you.
Well, you know what? They all thoughts and prayer. We don't believe in that bullshit. We believe in action.
Okay, well, you know what? Thoughts and prayers for you anyway. Okay? You can't stop me from thoughts and prayers, okay? You can't control my thoughts.
Oh, Lord, no, that happened. But she said she was going to pray for him. That's it did. No arguing that. Louise sits outside for a second before walking to her mother's workshop with the mannequins. Well, where the mannequins are, I should say. Not walking with the mannequins. That was a different movie. And she uncovers a white dress. And apparently some kind of wedding dress. I don't know. It wasn't explained what the hell it was. And in another scene, the brother and the sister pair tend to the goats. And they're tending to the goats, and the goats are goating.
Is
that what you mean? What tending to goats are? I mean, I don't know. That just means like goats are goating. Well, they're tending to the goats. What do you want me to say? And then in the next scene, we see Charlie, the farmhand, Louise, and Michael visit some kind of makeshift cemetery for goats, right? Yeah, you're right. And they talk about a particular goat. Well, Louise, that there be Vita. You know, it's actually Vita. Spanish, Vita means laugh. But you know, my pappy, he called her Vita because, you know, he wasn't too good on the old Spanish. But I took 4 years of Spanish myself, so I know it's Vita. Vita means laugh. That done goat was named Vita because she meant laugh to him. And now she's dead. So now Vita is muerta. I done their best dad. Okay, they argue, about who she was talking to, and they argue about the fact that, nobody talked to her much, and they're just arguing. Now, man, I told you, Vita. I don't told you. I don't know who the hell she was talking to. I just don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she was just, collecting her thoughts.
Well, I mean, I'm a co-bet. Maybe she was just losing it. She could have been losing it. I mean, it's got to be tough with Pappy just sitting there not muttering anything. I don't know. And they're just bickering. And then back inside, Louise is in the shower, and suddenly The restroom door opens and footsteps happen. Beep, beep, beep. Oh my god, that's not how footsteps sound. Oh yeah, sorry. And then the camera pans and it's the father and he's got the crazy eyes. And he's peeing everywhere. I'm gonna pee on you. Like R. Kelly. But it was just a hallucination. And then they're both standing over the father and Louise says she's gonna go outside to have another cig. That's so good, the cigarette. Oh my goodness, the cigarettes make me sound Italian. Oh my goodness, I should stop smoking. I'll sound more and more Italian every day. And Michael kicks under the bed and finds some kind of book inside, and probably what the mother was writing on. It's in the room, and he takes it outside to Louise, and it turns out that it's the mother's diary. Louise, I found Mama's diary. You know, I ever tell you I found your diary when you were 12 years old. I read all the nasty things you were saying about my friend. Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh my God. You never said anything. I never found that thing. Well, you know, that their book there, I gotta tell you, them boys paid a pretty price for that some bitch. They really love reading all your secrets. That damn thing was fun for them. You sold all my secrets? Oh my goodness. Michael, you're horrific. Well, I may be horrific, but not as horrific as page 72, that some bitch. Oh boy. Oh, no, that happened. Yeah, I did. Again, I was watching the right film. Anyway. It's Mom's diary. Yeah, I'm gonna read the last page. Let's see what down here say. Okay, help me, please. It's killing me. It's killing Papa, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Devil. He don't want David's soul. Oh my goodness, Michael. What's that all about? She was never religious. I don't know. Maybe she's been listening to too many scary podcasts or something like that. I don't know. You know, them crazy podcasts with crazy people that do it. I wouldn't trust any of those people with that crazy horror days. Probably what it was is some crazy horror podcast. And then we see a title card, and now it's Thursday. And they're asking each other. The cop wanted to know how she got up there. He say the tub is how she hung herself, but that couldn't be it. That couldn't be it, Louise, because you done reckon moved that tub. That wasn't there. How she gonna hang up and then move the tub back? It just goes against the laws of physics. Unless she's some kind of power or ability to manipulate objects from a distance. At which place the laws of physics, as we understand them, must be revisited. Well, I don't know. I don't know about the laws of physics, okay? I took one physics class in high school. I prefer biology much more to the physics. Well, you know, just don't do nothing bad if you just know all the laws of physics. It's important stuff, you gotta know this stuff. And he's reading from her journal. His voice makes me want to die. I locked the door, but he came inside. I want David to wake up. He want his soul. He climbs on bed and hurts David. I say him. He done be laughing at me. He kills me. I'm already dead. I'm dead. Oh, done reckon, Louise, this is some sad, scary stuff this woman was writing. I'm telling you, she must have been listening to one of them horror podcasts. I just know. She wasn't no into horror. She wasn't in religion. It's gotta be one of them scary podcasts. My God, you might be right. I was listening to one the other day, and it was actually very creepy. Not funny at all. And then there's a shot of Michael and Louise, and now they're at the morgue, and the coroner gives them a bag of crosses from apparently Sunday school, but the mother never went, right? Nobody was religious in this family, right, Billy? Yeah, nobody was religious, which is a really interesting thing, considering, I would say they're in Texas, and as you know, I'm from Texas, and majority of folks down there, well, they don't believe in something. Okay, well, you can believe in something and not be religious, though, right? Well, I mean, that's a good point, too. But, we can definitely look into the statistics of how many people follow religion in Texas. And I'm pretty certain, I gotta tell you, it's the majority of the state. Well, that's an interesting analysis. Yeah, maybe we can look that up. Anyway. Which, by the way, why are we talking about Texas? Because this story takes place in Texas. Can't you hear his accent? Sounds like me. Yeah, it kind of does sound like it. Is your brother or something? No, he's not my brother. Okay, so they return to the home where now Louise is moisturizing her father's hands. Papa. Your hands. Oh, they're so dry. Here, let me get a little moisture for you. Here we go. A little moisture a day keeps the devil away. Come on. Here not, come on. Sorry, Billy, just what it is what it is. Suddenly the dad begins to cough. And there's a spider that's coming out of his mouth. She's searching for it and he's trying to kill it and grab it, and it's another goddamn hallucination that's happening. A lot of hallucinations so far, right? Yeah, that's all right. There's been several. Well, I mean, we don't really know if that goat person or demon was a hallucination. We don't know if when he was inside, when Louise was washing the dishes, we don't know if that was a hallucination. But maybe it could be. I don't know. And then the brother walks in and says, "You get it? You get that, spider?" Oh, did you, Louise? I would have gotten it. I would have gotten that spider good. Same way I got you a journal. Oh, Louise. Oh, Louise. Oh, you done wreck me, Louise. I tell you that, you're a funny girl. Oh my God, it was just a hallucination. Stop it, Michael. And then the next scene, Louise continues to be puzzled, right? Yeah, she's starting to get some weird vibes about this place. So she's, over the sink and thinking about what she just saw, and her brother goes to sleep as if nothing happened. All right, Louise, with your crazy imagination and your crazy spiders, I'm going to sleep. I'll get them bruises in the morning. We need steak. By the way, do you need what? Do you know how to make that soup at the charcoal? What do you need to make that? Just to write me up a list. I'll make the trip. You just write me all the things you need for the soup or the sapita. I'm sorry. To pay to the charcoal. They just don't reckon me a list, and I'll make sure we get all their things so we can eat that for supper. That dang sapita is so good. Okay, so now this, it's just like, oh my goodness, I'll make you a list. I'll make you the sapita list. And she continues looking over the sink, and the sinkhole cover has a stain of blood on it from when the mother chopped her fingers off, right? Yeah, I mean, she just kind of wipes it away. Isn't that like biological material? That's pretty dangerous. Yeah, you're right. She just kind of thinks she just grabs an old rag and just wipes that sumbitch away. Isn't that how you do things in Texas, Billy? Come on. But I mean, I guess it's fine because she did that, so you're right. Billy, your hometown. Okay, so anyway, where were we? She's cleaning up the blood. That's right, she cleans up the blood. And she steps outside for yet another smoke. Que cosa, que no sé por qué parlo italiano. Oh my goodness, how am I?
How am I talking in Italian? It must be all the smoking. Oh my goodness. I really gotta stop with the smoking. And suddenly wolves howl. And the music intensifies. And it's creepy. Intense music, and there's a shot back inside, and she's sleeping back on the same bed as her dad is, and the light in Michael's room suddenly turns on, but there's no one there. He gets up to investigate, breaking the rule of horror. The light turns off in your room. You just keep your eyes closed and stay under the blankets, children. But no, he doesn't follow the rules of horror. He gets up to investigate. And he turns the light back off. And he goes back to bed. But suddenly the light turns back on again. Oh my goodness. Oh, is it a hallucination? We don't know. Some bitch. Who done be turning off my light? Some bitch. He gets up to turn the light off again. But of course he breaks another rule of horror. Don't peek outside. Really, some weird crazy shit happens. Do not peek outside. Yeah, man, maybe grab yourself your old shotgun. Very well said, Bill. Very Texas of you, Bill. Well, I mean, we all gotta have our shotguns at the ready. Especially in Texas. Okay. He peeks outside and, he's suddenly... he sees his mother and she's floating! And suddenly the mother starts singing again. Running my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly. Oh my goodness, she does not sing that song. Oh, Billy. Now the mom is behind him, inside, and he turns around, and no one's there. Oh my goodness, what is another hallucination? What the hell is going on in this movie? I mean, it's just really keeping us on the edge, like you said, but we don't really know. Yeah, there's just so much great stuff happening, and it's so subtle, but really well done. Anyway, it's Friday now, the title card says, and Louise wakes up and turns the light on, and she starts to fix her hair, and she has lipstick all over her face for some reason. I thought initially it was blood, right? I also thought it was blood initially. I didn't make the connection until she checked under the sheets, and she found the lipstick there. Yeah, correct. And then suddenly the phone rings, and the line says, You've reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. Please hang up and try your call again. You've reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. Please try again. And of course, it rings again and she answers. And now it's her mom. I told y'all not to come. I told y'all. Killing myself. Oh, Lord, she's not singing here. You're right. You're right, Billy. You're right. She's not singing here. But you did tell him not to come, right? Yes, it did. And then there's this thunderstorm outside, and suddenly Michael stops to greet a priest or a father for somewhere. And the priest goes inside, and he starts to read from the journal, and he tells them that, well, children, I came here often to visit your mother, but I had no nefarious intentions, I assure you. I only came here to meet them and offer them help. Your mother was suffering, and I offer you my help as well. Beliefs? Well, of course we all have beliefs. She had her beliefs, I have my beliefs. You know what, preacher, I done reckon all that baloney in her journal about them demons is all about you, ain't it? Well, you know, son, just because you don't believe in the Lord and the Holy Spirit and the devil himself, that doesn't mean he's not real. Well, tell me something, preacher. You done be putting ideas in my mother's head. Neither of them, not my mama, not my papa, were religious folk. I only told them the truth, Michael. No, y'all told them your truth. That don't be what the be is. That be what it be.
And Michael is angry at the priest for feeding her that shit, right? Yeah, they say very often that nobody in the household was religious, and it just doesn't make any sense that she was writing these things in her journal because she didn't believe it. She didn't believe in any of the baloney. She was alone, and you don't reckon took advantage of her, priest. Whoa, there, Michael, I took advantage of nobody. I assure you, I've never been moved around the country for taking advantage of anybody. No, that's never happened. What? Oh, you mean of taking advantage of your mother? Oh, no thanks. I would never do that. I helped her instead. I helped her. All right there, Padre. I got a question for you now. Don't reckon give me the truth. The devil don't be here. Well, Michael, you heard her words and her warnings, but she don't saw a wolf. All right? Michael, I hate to break it to you, but the devil is not that wolf out there howling. Woo! He's already here, inside with all of us. Oh, my goodness. And in the next shot, Louise walks outside, and Michael is in his dad's room and talking to him. Obviously the dad can't hear, but maybe he can hear, he just can't respond. But he's having regrets about missing his mother, and, imagine. Yeah, I mean, they were there to visit the father, and suddenly they lose the mother in a very strange and tragic way. Yeah. So Louise also steps outside and visits the site of where her mother hung herself amongst the goats. And Michael talks on the phone, presumably with his wife. And Louise continues to walk amongst the goats and now reading her mother's journal again. Hey, he's watching. Hey, wait. Hey, is everywhere. Lie. Hey, what's my mama talking about? And suddenly, glass bottles shatter, and she calls out to Michael. Michael! Hey, Michael! Hello? Michael, is that you? And there's a shadow behind her, and it grows against the wall of the farm location area, the goatstead. I don't know what it's called. And, but nothing happens. Oh, just teasing again, right? What'd I tell you? Teasing. Yeah, I'm starting to understand what you meant about it missing something. Yeah, it's just teasing it, and like I'm waiting for the grand reveal, and I'm waiting for it. By the way, I'm loving all of this. I'm not complaining in a bad way. Again, it's just really grinds my geesh. Okay, in the next scene, it's Mike and Louise, and again, they sit outside the house, and then they're reading the journal. Now, Louise, answer me this. Maybe Mama saw something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I gotta share some stuff with you now, Louise. I don't reckon see something, and it wasn't no dream, I tell you what. I also didn't imagine, it wasn't no imagination. I ain't got none of that. You know very well I ain't got no imagination. Look at my journal. Ain't nobody pay for Michael's journal. Ain't nothing interesting in there. You know what I mean? All them be like stick figures and shit. Nothing interesting like you. Well, especially like I have to pay $7 to do my right. Am I right, Louis? Oh, Michael, stop it. This is no moment to joke. You're right. I'm sorry, Louis. Well, anyway, I was saying, Mom was standing. I was in my room, and Mama was standing right there. I saw her through the window last night, Louise, but it wasn't her. I done reckon tell you that wasn't Mama. That was scary. I was scared. But it can't be real. It just can't be real. I'm done telling you, Louis, it can't be real. And suddenly the wolves howl. And the shot of the cloud-covered moon. And now we're back inside, and there's a shot of the door with tense music, and the howling outside continues. But now there's some rustling. And Michael wakes up to something scraping on the door. And Louise says, there's something out there. Oh! And they look out the window. Oh! And they notice that the priest, Father Thorn, the same one they spoke to, is standing outside. And well, he says,
Hey, kids. Y'all want to come out here? Come on out here, kid. I love kids. I mean, I love everybody. Everyone under, not everyone under a certain age. What I meant to say is like everybody under God is what I meant by kids. That's what I meant, not kids. Especially not underage ones. Anyway, what was this? Oh, right. Come outside! Come on! You should come outside.
come outside.
Come outside.
And they flash a light at him. And then he says, you want some rope? You want some rope? And then the phone rings. And for some reason, Michael steps outside. Yeah, I don't understand why he stepped outside. And the phone rings again, and it rings. But Michael's like,
Louis, don't answer it. I done already broke a rule by stepping out here. I might be dead already, but don't you dare answer that phone. I might be breaking another rule, which we don't want to do right now. We done be breaking too many rules.
but she doesn't answer it. And thankfully, Michael steps back inside safely. Nothing happened to him. Unfortunately, as we find out, the phone call was actually from a farmhand, and he was calling them. And now we go to a scene of the farmhand Charlie, which we saw previously in, when he was changing the tires. And he's loading his shotgun, like you said in Texas, Bill. It's not uncommon for, a Southern Texan to have a shotgun. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty common thing, He's got to defend the flock with its gun. Yeah, that's right. And he's loading up his shotgun, and suddenly he hears a noise, and something growls in the distance. And he sees a vision of Louise, and she's like stabbing herself. And then the voice and the person that looks like Louise whispers in her ear, and then he places the shotgun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Wow! Oh my goodness! And he blows his brain out. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that was tragic. Charlie, what did Charlie do to anybody? I don't understand. Yeah, I agree. And now it's Saturday, and they plan on taking the dad to the hospital because they want to leave. And they let the goats forage outside, and of course, Louise is outside smoking again, and she calls Father Thorn, the same one they saw outside. They all live in Thurber, Texas. Am I right, Billy? That's right, Thurber, Texas. So the father answers.
Hello? Who's this? What? Texas? No. I've never been to Texas. I'm in Chicago. What? Thurber? Not even a real place? Are you making it up? No. I'm in Chicago. Chicago. Deep dish? Deep dish pizza? Yeah. Chicago.
So it turns out that the father had a daughter who killed herself a long time ago, and he says that Louise sounds just like her. And in fact, I think her name was also Louise, right? That was a little confusing to me. Yeah, that's the conversation they had. Very interesting. But I guess the point is that the father was also a hallucination. He was never there. Oh my goodness. Everything seems to be a hallucination, right? But except the mother. Like, the mother isn't a hallucination in terms of her dying, right? That definitely happened. They mourned her. We're not getting like the unreliable narrative situation here. No, I definitely think the mother's death was actually what happened. There's never been any evidence to suggest otherwise. Wow. Thank you. Just clearing some things up. Anyway, the doctor arrives to see Michael and Louise's father, and he says, "Yeah, you see that? You want to take your father to the hospital. Unfortunately, I just can't allow it. I can't sign off on him being moved. He just isn't in the right condition." And Michael and the nurse talk about the imminent death of their father and how
the worst thing to do in the world is to die alone. I don't reckon. I already don't want to be here, but well, look, Michael. Okay, you need to grow up, big boy. Okay, you want me to make you some sopita? Well, I mean, yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, well, guess what? No, you gotta do it yourself. Okay, you're a big boy, Michael. You can make your own sopita. And let me tell you something. The worst thing to do is to die alone. Okay? The worst thing to do is to die alone and to not eat a sopita before you die. Well, I mean, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Don't reckon be my last meal. But that sopita de caracol is still damn good. And then the nurse says that she can see and feel their fear and that they don't believe in God, but she does. Listen, Michael, okay? I know that you don't go to church, okay? But I've been going to church my whole life, okay? And let me tell you, there are things in this world, wicked things, and they come for whoever and whenever they want, okay? It doesn't matter. You don't pray, that's okay. He come get you. You don't go to church? Okay, he come get you. You go to church, he come get you anyway. You go to church and you pray, he still come get you. Well, hold on just a second. What done there be the point of going there? Well, I mean, it's a little harder for him, but he still come get you. Maybe he can't find you for a little while. And maybe you enjoy life a little while, but he still come get you. Okay, Michael? So you listen to me. Things in this world, wicked, they come get you. Oh, Lord, again. Shut it, Billy. I don't even know what to say. Oh, one last thing, Michael, okay? A soul needs love to keep it safe. Okay, do you love your papi? You have to love your papi. Okay, because you don't love your papi, then he's not going to be safe when he come get you. He doesn't come get you, he come hit him. Okay, you gotta make sure to love him. Love your papi. Give him a little kiss on the forehead like this. I love you, papi. Oh my goodness. And then we went to a shot of the outside, and there's a main goat. Oh my goodness, that was nasty, but it wasn't real, right? Yeah, no, it definitely had to be CGI. There's no way they hadn't goat like that. So the goat was missing a leg, and Michael sees it, and I think he was, going to break its neck or something, but he hugs it, and that's all we see, thankfully. Oh, and then the next scene, Louise and Michael find that every single one of their goats are dead now for no apparent reason, and it's not explained, but we know what it is. The nurse was saying, can a character from the same episode be a guest? The nurse from The Dark and the Wicked, what's going on now? Oh, see, mira, what's happening is that he come and get you, he come and kill your animals, and he kills all of them, and then he come and get you. Okay, so you make sure you go to the church, and you make sure you pray, and you believe in all that good stuff, okay? But he come get you. Okay, the nurse from The Dark and the Wicked explaining to us what's happening here. See? So all the goats are dead! Well, there's nothing much for them to do other than, well, I'll let the sheriff from Pet Cemetery Bloodlines explain what happens next. Well, I done be in a situation, well, only way that you can contain the rot from spreading is by setting it on fire. Unfortunately, them billy goats already dead, so we got burned those some bitches down. That's all we can do. You can't bury him. If you bury him, you just burn the disease. I reckon you gotta burn that some bitches down and burn good. Okay, Sheriff, thank you so much for your short, brief, but very important appearance on tonight's show. My man, a dime. So Louise and Michael find that they must burn everything, and they in fact do. And there's only maybe 5 goats left alive, right? Yeah, that's what Michael said. And then he says he's gonna go stay outside with the goats. Why? I mean, I guess he wants to take care of the little ones, right? Yeah, you're right. There's a few baby goats. One, he said that one of them was pregnant, and you know, he goes outside to take care of the goat. And Louise stays inside. She goes back with her dad. He wants to stay with her because she doesn't want her soul or his soul to be alone in the end, like the nurse was telling him. Yeah, that nurse had some really good advice, actually. I just want to forget about this place, Louise. I'm scared. Oh my God, Michael. I'm scared too. I don't know what to do. I wonder if there's any sapita left. Do you think there's any sapita left? Oh, that nurse says she's gonna make a tune for us. Well, actually, she gave me the recipe. Don't tell me that I'm a grown man. I gotta make my own sapita. What the hell? So Michael walks to guard the goats, and he guards the little goats. A little cute goat, a little cute. Hold on there, be a little cute goat. Oh Lord, there's some cute little baby goat right here. And Louise reads the mother's journal, and suddenly his cell phone vibrates, and the goat alarms start alarming. That's not what the goat alarms sound like. You're right, just clinging bottles. I don't have bottles in here. Oh yeah, and the bottles are clinging. And he answers the phone. Hello? And he pulls out a knife. And suddenly, oh Lord, please don't. Please don't. And suddenly, he hears his mother singing again. Rubbing my pain with his finger, singing my life with his voice, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, my goodness, you're gonna toot your own horn again. And suddenly he sees the naked corpse of his mother, and she's walking towards him. Ah, mama, nah, you ain't real, mama. Come on now. Come on. Come on, mama. And she backs him against the wall, and he turns around, but there's no one there again. Oh my God, and he turns around again, and now she's behind him. Ah! And he almost stabs himself. Oh, tense. And he hightails it back to the house and heads straight to the room, still holding a knife and not knowing what the hell just happened, but he's scared shitless. My man, wouldn't you be? Well, I mean, if I heard amazing singing like I just heard, I probably wouldn't be. Oh my goodness. Did you just say your singing was amazing? Oh man. I'm gonna have to disagree. Okay, Billy. Negative Nancy tonight, huh, Billy? Just telling you the truth. Let's continue. So in the next shot, Louise is, she watches him head straight to his room and, sort of makes her feel more at peace because now he's also inside the house. And in the next shot, Louise is asleep next to her dad and the door creaks open. Exactly, Michael. Oh my God, Mikey, you scared me. Oh, Mikey, I thought it was a demon or something. And now we see a title card, and it's Sunday. Sunday, this Sunday, Sunday. Get ready for fun. Sunday, get ready for fun. And Louise wakes up to a creaking mattress. And a shadow figure growls of her father. And Louise whimpers. She's paralyzed with fear, but she's fighting it. She's fighting. She finally overcomes the fear, but her father is now gone from the bed. And suddenly she looks up and he's on the ceiling immediately above her. And someone screams, "Run away! Run away! Run away! Run! Yeah! And she calls to Michael and exits the room and goes to Michael, or exits the room and goes to Michael's room, and suddenly there's a knock on the door and they're all startled. And it's a young girl. Morning. I done heard a scream. Oh, it's nothing. And it turns out to be Charlie's granddaughter, and they've been calling the house. Well, you know, I'm just here to tell you because somebody thought you should know, but my grandpappy, he done shoot himself. They found him with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. And then the granddaughter suddenly says, do you smell him? Do you smell him? He's close now. He's rotting. He's all alone now. He's rotting. He's all alone. And of course now, we know that it's not the little girl. But Louise can't find Michael anywhere. She calls him desperately and he's not picking up. And then there's a shot of the nurse. And she shows up. And she's turning on the little candle of the Virgencita, the Virgen de Guadalupe, the Virgin Mary. Yeah, that's right. She's turning on several candles of the Virgencita. Oh, I forgot you speak Spanish, so... Oh, sí, muchas gracias. Habla mucho español. Porque estudié muchos años en la escuela. Wow. Well, that's the most I've ever heard you speak. Well, you know, I'd like to throw in a little bit of Spanish here and there. Anyway, like you just said, she turns on the candle of the Virgencita. Yes, she did. And Michael, finally, or rather, Louise finally gets a hold of Michael and tells her, well, Louise, I had dumb breath. You gonna think this is a funny story now. I done take off in the middle of the night and left you there. Oh, well, man, I didn't want to wake you up. You done be asleep. What kind of gentleman would I be? I also want to let you know I took the remainder of the cepeda, so you're gonna have to make new. I don't care. I ain't no grown man seen making the cepeda. I don't know how to do that, so I have to take it. It's on you now. Anyway, I love my girls and my wife, so I don't reckon I had to leave, and I think you should leave too. Oh my goodness, I mean, that's, I guess, close enough to what happened in the movie, I guess. That's what he told him. He didn't say anything about the soup. Did I mention that sopita is soup? I think that's probably the first or second time.
If you don't know what sopita means, it means little soup.
Learn it. Anyway. Suddenly, Michael's driving back home, and then the nurse is now, after turning on the candles of the Virgencita, the nurse is holding her knitting needles in a rather nefarious fashion, and there's a spider crawling across her face, right? Yeah, I don't know if now there's a hallucination or that's actually what happened. Yeah, I think it actually happened, and then suddenly the nurse screams in pain, "Ay, hijo de puta!" And she's stabbing herself, and suddenly she stabs Louise. Hey, bitch, toma! Pow! And she stabs her. Pow! And then she says, she hears Jesus. Jesus, I feel you. And then she stabs her right. My ojo. And she stabs the other eye, and she hears a whisper that Jesus loves her. Hey, Jesus, he loved me, you know, he loved you too. And then suddenly she just collapses and dies. Oh my goodness, that tragic ending. And Michael makes it home, but he's calling for his wife and his daughter. Hello? Hey baby, I'm back. Hello? Hello, Papa's. Hello, Papa's home. Baxter! Baxter? Did you eat the wheel of cheese again, Baxter? I'm not even mad, I'm impressed. He does not have a dog named Baxter, and the dog did not eat the wheel of cheese from the refrigerator, therefore he's not impressed. Jeez. Way to ruin a moment, Billy. And he continues looking for his wife and his daughter. And suddenly he sees the kitchenette table. But his daughters have now been killed, apparently by his wife in a murder-suicide. Ugh, really tragic. And the wife is on the floor holding a knife, and he's overcome with emotions, and when suddenly
grabs that knife that he was holding from earlier and starts to slice his own throat, and he bleeds out, but not before. Oh, he realizes it's a goddamn hallucination. Fuck! I knew it when I saw it, right? Yeah, I mean, I think this one, this is probably one of the first ones, if not the only one, that I really felt like I knew it. Like, it was in the back of my head, don't do it. It's gonna be a hallucination, don't do it. But yeah, he did it. And after he slices his throat, not long after, the wife arrives and finds him dead, and obviously she lends out a violent scream at, the tragedy that he just saw. But alas, we return to Texas. Well, actually, he might still live in Texas, or they all might live in Texas. So Louise wakes up and hears her father coughing. And she stumbles outside for some reason. Then she goes back inside to her father's bedside and says that Papa, I won't leave you. And then she hears Michael scream, "Ah, Louise! Oh, Louise, I ran out of Cepeda. Oh, and I lost the recipe." And Michael's crying and screaming, "Help me, Louise! Help me!" And then the Virgencita candle turns off because it just ran out. And she tells her father, "Dad, I love you. I won't be leaving you." And then there's footsteps inside. And the father breathes his last breaths. And then we hear the mother singing again. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. The mother sings, Billy. The mother sings. The mother sings. From my fine with his finger. And then she hears the demons. She hears the mother singing, and then suddenly the demon from the right side of the screen shows up and apparently bites her on something. I don't know. The screen goes black and it's over. Oh my goodness. What a tragedy. What a total and complete tragedy. But that's it. That's the film. And I want to add a little section here, the interpretation of the ending here. And the reason for that is because I think... Okay, so hear me out, Billy. I won't take too long. This entire movie, they refuse to leave the father, right? Yeah, you know what the nurse said, that the soul needs somebody to be there and nobody should die alone. Right. But the demon never actually killed anybody, did he? What are you getting at? Well, this scene, it makes it seem as if the demon is attacking her, but the demon never actually was seen attacking anybody before. And through the hour and 35 minutes that we waited for the father to die, he could have attacked him and killed him. So I don't think the demon himself is killing anybody. I think he's making people hallucinate and having them harm themselves. So at the end, I don't think he killed Louise. It just goes to black. But my interpretation is that the demon doesn't kill anybody. He's a regular old, what's the name of that Saw guy? John Kramer? Yeah, John Kramer. I don't kill anybody. I just put them in situations where they kill themselves. But I'm not a killer. I'm just somebody with sadistic tendencies. And I'm privileged. I get to decide who lives and who dies. So I don't think he was killing anybody. Very much at the John Kramer sort of situation. The demon was waiting for the father to die. And so when he finally died, he took... or maybe this is the other interpretation. So nobody dies at the end, right? And again, I'm saying this because we fade to black and you don't see what happens. But the demon never killed anybody. He never killed the father. He is making people hallucinate and do crazy shit to themselves. The mother killed herself. Charlie shot himself. The brother sliced his own neck. The father finally died when he died. But at the moment of dying, he does in fact take over that body, right? The demons won't possess the body, right? Right, Billy? Yeah, man, we gotta let it go to old-fashioned demonic possession, I think. So once the dad dies, and this is the second interpretation, then the dad dies, and then the demon takes over the dad's body, and then he's able to attack Louise. There's no other way around it,
right? Like there's no physical abilities for him to actually do that if he doesn't take over somebody's body. And obviously we're just fucking speculating at shit that didn't happen, or but I think that is the reason. That's how I see it. He took over the body of the dad once the dad finally died, and now he has the ability to physically manipulate the world around him, but he can't otherwise unless somebody dies. Yeah, but what about her guarding his soul? Wouldn't that have been well, I mean, you're right. I don't know now. I'm confused now, but maybe because she was there guarding his soul went to heaven, and the body couldn't be taken over, and it's another hallucination of the demon attacking her, but she actually doesn't get attacked. So that's the second interpretation. Yeah, I mean, I actually think, they're both very valid and interesting interpretations. Here you go, good job. But now it's time for a rating.
Well, Billy, that's the end of this one. As I mentioned earlier, this movie gets an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 for the dark and a wicked amazing title. Simple yet effective story. Really well done. Some overuse of jump scares. It's not my cup of tea, but it was fun. It is getting an 8. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you're still here, we really appreciate you. And we'll catch you again on the next episode of Rick's Horror Movie Review Show, Rick's Rated R Horror Movie Review Show, where we will be going over our own special recipe for sopa de caracol. Oh my goodness.